Hi Sagittarius, and welcome to your reading. I hope you're doing well and in high spirits. We're doing a slightly different format than previously on this page, so we'll see how it works and how the flow goes. Would like to let you know and remind you to please take what resonates, leave what does not. So if anything creates tension, doubt, lack, limitation, or anything heavy inside your mind, body, or heart, please throw it away, reject it, don't allow it in. It's not for you today. This is timeless. Anytime you come across the message, it's for you if it resonates, so please know that. We have performed our blessing and prayer for accuracy and positive intentions, blessings for all, with the angels and spirits off of camera, so just know that that's been intended here before the spread is laid, and let's get started. So in your energy, there's a feeling of needing to wait. This is confirmed throughout the other cards here. But there's definitely a feeling of, it's not as much imprisonment in the standard sense of the Eight of Swords. It's more of an anxious, like a period of just having to wait out of your control for something to occur, to happen, in a sense. For some reason, I also get this impression of Aurora, the singer, through. I'm not sure why. But she shows up here. And we also see there's like a recognition of a higher energy, a spiritual energy here, as we might call it. Like something that catches your attention in the air, in the sky. Like the way she's looking up. It would almost indicate that an air sign could have gotten your attention, or could be getting your attention. As well as you recognizing a bigger picture or seeing something within this space of having to wait or having to pause, however you apply that into your life there. But it really feels like with this way that she has this dinosaur in her in this like glass ball, it really feels like you're recognizing the patterns of the universe, in essence. Like this dinosaur in time is in this glass ball, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, I'm in this glass ball too. In a sense, it's like, this is not in my control. But on the same token, you see these like holes in this glass ball that she's holding, and it's almost like you recognize as well the holes within this bubble you're in, and you're like, how do I get through that space and out? And do I want to get out? It's kind of that energy, metaphorically speaking. So yes, showing in your energy, there is a feeling of a waiting period, of having to be in this space, kind of out of your desired intent right now. But there's a lot of progress being made within it, and simultaneously we see this is accompanied with transformative energy, with the transformation. We do associate transformation, this card, with Scorpio naturally, which is, death and rebirth energy. But it is also here, there's a lot of fire in this, and you are fire, Sagittarius. There's a regal element to this that we see as well. This transformation, it's very, I even see like the goddess Kali coming through a bit. It's very ancient. It's very stretching through bloodline, stretching through your soul memory. It's a transformation that's very significant. We go through a lot of transformations in life in general. This one, however, it is like, I want to say a lot of built, even rage and, those kind of more like oppressive energies and sadness and things that have happened. It's like it's kind of really coming to surface right now, and you're wielding a lot of power out of it. You can also recognize a very yin yang in these energies. We have this like very light blonde blue-eyed energy on the left, and then we have this very like dark haired darker eyed energy on the right. And it just kind of shows that you are going through a process which is allowing you to access much of what you have been maybe pushing down in your power, or not being able to access, and it's actually happening by you feeling disempowered in some ways. It's like it's pushing you to seek, pushing you to find that royal element in essence that is you. So in your energy, there is a lot of thinking. I see a lot of thoughts, a lot of contemplation. I also see a lot of hurt, processing of hurt, even hurt that you don't consciously know how to process, but it's there, it's a feeling. Some of you could be really communicating with the dead right now, communicating with the other side. And some of you could be reaching a level of mastery within that. If you're a medium or a psychic, or, just if you do something, even like an artist, or you create, or you do some kind of communication that is in any way channeled, which a lot of that is, it's really reaching a height right now. I do like that you're looking up and ahead. That really drives that transformation energy home. So kind of moving us out of the past, the focus on the past, which is great. Also, this 13 for me here, it really speaks of time moving a lot differently. And that's in the collective, time moving differently. But I see it highlighted here for you as well. You may be, when it comes to past energy, the only thing I could really see you reflecting on when it comes to the past is people, animals, energies that you have lost in this life, and maybe beyond this life. And the recognition of them here in this space, even though they aren't in the physical, they're with you. This looks like a dark image in some ways, but I really don't perceive it this way for you guys. It's actually very positive. I also see this image here as a grandparent or a parent, this here, almost like a guide that is speaking with you, reassuring you, helping you to work through fear as well, which I really love for you. This looks like a bird, like a pet bird or something. Doesn't have to be, but it's you working past preconceived notions as well, and fears around certain things, and realizing how much power is beyond your fear. Again, breaking a bit out of this oppressive energy. For some of you, there is a deep-seated like anger or a rage again that I see here towards people and things that just didn't do you right, and it's an intense emotional process to go through at this time. I do see that this could be a more emotional period for you, as any transformation would be. But you have a lot of assistance and reassurance going on, which is great. And, Kali is the goddess of time and destruction and kind of like slaying demons in a sense. And here it feels like there is a destructive element to any transformation. A forest fire will burn the forest, but it also will replenish it ultimately. So there is something that you could be destroying in your life at this time, or in a relationship, or in a career, or somewhere. I will say revenge can be tempting, but remember, everything comes back to us. If for anybody that could apply. But mostly I just see that it's really you accessing pretty just rage in you. And it doesn't have to express itself in rage, But remember too, your journey is very beautiful. And it is very significant. And other people's might look like they have a step up, but they don't. Truly. So with that, let's move into some of the other messages in this reading. So we have our angel messages for you here. Zana wants you to know that you are protected from all types of harm, and the worst is now behind you. She asks you to relax and feel safe. So a message of feeling safe, especially being that you are in this, stage, in this place of realization. That's an important message to recognize. Azure lets you know that your desired outcome will occur in the very near future. Have patience and faith and do not try to force it to happen. Yes, we are in a holding period right now, and forcing anything to happen is definitely not recommended. This is not in your control right now. The timing of things, you have to simply be within, which is a very difficult lesson, but a very worthwhile one. And I know you know how to do this, Sagittarius, but it's a reminder, okay? We also have Grace and Antoinette. So to help heal the situation, see the other person's point of view with compassion. They come out a lot because I think this is always important. And it's not just somebody else, it's yourself as well. Offering compassion to yourself, because deep down we know that you're very emotional, you're very sensitive and intuitive, and you do hold more resentment and guilt towards your own self sometimes than you care to admit. So seeing yourself with compassion allows you to offer more compassion to others. And we know, Sagittarius, that you always come through with compassion for others at the end of the day. Like, you might have a few days or some time where, a few months, years, whatever, but time where you are resentful, but you're so strong that you end up coming through it as it is. So this message to me is coming out more for you, for yourself, to remind you of that. Now we also have the angel Desiree. She says, no, conditions are not favorable right now. Wait or look into other options and ask the angels to help guide and comfort you. I tried to get some clarity on this for you to understand exactly what she's talking about. And it's kind of the same message. Desiree is talking about, waiting on trying to make fast movement against any kind of resistance. As well, we have air energy there and fire energy, both. It could also be you offering love to somebody, waiting on that. If that resonates for you, please take what resonates. If you don't feel that, then you do you, whatever you need. But this Knight of Cups here, if we really look, it's like an emotional offer. Could be water sign energy, but it feels like you wanting to offer something, but you're guarded. You're not fully ready yet. Vice versa, it could be somebody, wanting to make fast motion towards you and offer you love, and it could be a water sign, very likely, but they're guarded. And, I got goosebumps on that one. So that could really be for some of you that way. And that it's just like, it might not be that you're fully done with this transformation and ready for this, especially if it's not going to be an open thing. We don't want to repeat cycles, is kind of the feeling. And with this is supported this Ace of Wands. That's that new beginning, that full out of the other end of this transformation. That's fire energy, and it's in the reverse here. So with Temperance, really, to me, what this no, conditions aren't favorable right now is just talking about making premature movement. And this can be in any area of life. It doesn't have to just be love, but we're talking about trying to, hasten, quicken a beginning or a process that we can't right now. We have to, being Sagittarius collective, we have to just wait with what we have, however we can at this time. And within the waiting process, we are evolving. Sagittarius is evolving. This is quite incredible, actually, this transformation. This really is where you shine, because this shows, you shine in many areas, but this really shows your strength to utilize what you have available to you, Sagittarius, to utilize what is around you, to make the best of a bad situation, in for lack of better words, even though it's not a bad situation. It is that feeling that you have a very strong ability to make a lot with a little, So I think this is why you're tested time and time again, like you are in life as well, and why things like control are taken from you at times, and you're, kind of stuck. You get stuck, yourself stuck in these situations, in essence, to learn. It's like you're in a room and there's hardly anything in the room, and you have to just collect what's there and build something with those little pieces that is like a key to a door that doesn't exist, that you have to still build. But then you build a door and you build a key and you find your way out of that room, and you've gained all these skill sets and all these tools. And this is what I see with this evolution. And this evolution here is beautifully coded with, there's a little bit of Gemini energy here, which is air, but it's beautifully coded with communication, communication with spirit, and connection to the heart. And at the very center is that healthy, compassionate source that really everything revolves around for you. When you are feeling in that compassionate energy and that loving energy, you feel most you. You don't actually feel most you when you're in more of your vengeful, angry place. But that's partly because it can be difficult to access our communication and what we need to say, and for somebody to actually receive it. So it's a very like tricky dance for Sagittarius sometimes, right? But basically what this is you having to be in this period of waiting in maybe a situation that feels out of your control, that you know you can't rush, and you evolving within it, you transforming within it. Now, we have a lot of spiritual energy here for you as well. We have free spirit out for you with universal spirituality. You are a free spirit. You are an adventurer at the core. I mean, of course, we all have other placements here, but, you know, at your essence, that's what you are. And this process that you're going through is really helping you deepen that connection and that bond with the core of you, and helping you bloom and blossom into that, into more of what you are and what you want to do. Some of you could be coming into a more nomadic energy moving into the future. Some of you could be so freaking sick of this, you know, pandemic and what's going on too, that you're gonna, the minute you break out of this holding period, you're just gonna travel, you're gonna go for it, you're gonna adventure, whatever that is for you. And as you do, you discover even more of yourself and the spiritual awakening and the connection between you and everything and all that is. There's a lot of realizations going on right now of the bigger picture for you, of, you know, what it is. You're getting a different vantage point in. The cosmos are communicating to you at this time. You are seeing things in a different light. Really consciously seeing a bigger perspective here, and that's very powerful and very profound as a whole. Now, this feels very future. This could be a new love coming in the future here, not far future, but just future, again, through this period. It's not just new love, it's also pieces of yourself, pieces of you. Coming into harmony, coming into flow and balance. Like, if we see how this is very yin and yang here, so is this yin and yang here, you know, yin and yang, or yang yin, whatever direction. But the idea is allowing that forgiveness or that release of your own guilt towards the self to take place. This is you having compassion for yourself. So that you are able to receive love for yourself and give it to yourself and to your inner child as well, to acknowledge things in this process as well that have happened in childhood, yes, and to really release and heal. Now, that's also indicative, because when we, you know, go through a process internally, we can also experience a process externally as well, reflected of the internal. So the outer world starts to reflect what's happening inside. So that's where we see that there could be somebody coming in to help you. Yes, it would indicate it could be romantic love, but actually it doesn't have to be. This could also be somebody that wants to help you with business, or help you be nomadic, or help you financially, or help you with an adventure, help you evolve. It could be a mentor. There's all kinds of things here, but it had to be this way. There had to be this healing in the relationship sector, in the love areas here, in our, you know, own relationship with ourselves, in order to even receive or recognize this gift coming in, you know. So I feel 3 months is significant trajectory for you. Some of you, 6 months as well. We have 1 year, 1.5 years. 23 is an important number. 7. I like a lot of 7s, even 777, 73. All significant numbers coming through. At times, Sagittarius, you may feel abandoned, you know, like there isn't anything or anyone, and it's just you. But you know, that too is the universe teaching. And you're wise enough to know it, to recognize it. So yeah, with this here, obviously this is still feeling future trajectory, you coming out of that hermit mode, feeling into that nomadic energy. I feel like you're really triggered by some people in your past, especially because you're just trying so hard to have that compassion and to heal, and sometimes people in your life can be ruthless. Like, you're doing all this, you're trying, and then they just come at you to try to tear you down more, in essence. So I feel like that's just you charging at your past, being very triggered, guarded, but also like this is you trying to fight a little bit against the flow. Like there's some resistance here, fighting against the flow. And Spirit here with this Ace of Swords in reverse, for me, it's like they're really saying this beginning, this fresh perspective, this new start, however you want to see it, involved in a lot of compassion and a lot of gratitude. This, when you allow it, will release and relieve a lot of these triggers, a lot of this feeling of needing to fight the past and needing to fight the flow. But are we there yet in the next 3 months fully? I don't see it for a lot of you here. I do see a lot of movement happening, however, a lot of balance, a lot of presence. That's Cancer, Gemini, again, a lot of air energy in your reading as a whole, which also talks about your mental processes, right? I feel like some of you are starting a new business or have been working in a different aspect of your business, and that's going well. That's positive. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and grab a few clarifiers on this guy and look a little more ahead here. Okay, so looking into this deeper, Ace of Swords in reverse is also talking in this reading about this resistance you're in, that you're trying to work through, is delaying a little bit of this very fresh new perspective that you are in the process of gaining. I don't even want to use the word delay, because again, you're on a cable track that is just, it's predetermined. Like, no matter what, you're getting there. No matter what, you're heading there, okay? It's just that you're in this part of the journey in the near future. For some of you, it is in the now, but I feel like, again, this is extending into the next 3 months, very specifically. It's a process, okay? You see this new perspective, you know it's there, you want it, but first we have to deal with some of this, and we have to even run ourselves ragged or exhaust to the point of exhaustion, in essence, at times, with thoughts and processing and all of it, in order to really release it and let it go. And that is normal, that's part of it. Some of the frustration and the anger I feel that you've experienced, especially around people, is a little bit of at some point there was something you wanted, there was a wish you made, there was a desire you had, and it's like there was a lot of letdown around it. You know, maybe it could have been around a person, a relationship, maybe somebody had options, they were not faithful, and they really hurt you. Maybe you hurt yourself. It doesn't have to just be relationships, though. We can also be talking about things that you wanted in life that people told you couldn't have or weren't possible. You know, I see Capricorn energy here coming through, Earth energy, Aries as well. But this could have been a suppressive energy. This could have been a relationship or a boss or a parent that kind of, again, in the past, they kind of suppressed what you wanted or what you wanted to move towards. It's that feeling And a lot of this rage and anger that's coming up now, out the other side, yeah, it's going to offer you an entirely new perspective and freedom and liberation from this shit, which is great. But until then, we are revisiting it. We are dealing with it. It's being stirred up. It's coming to the surface. It could be being triggered by new people in your life or other people. It could also be touching on your relationship to abundance and money and prosperity. And, you know, there's an anger about what you wanted in life feeling blocked, feeling even taken from you in a sense. Just the letdown. It's a letdown feeling. You do see here with the Tower in reverse that there's like a restabilization here, but it can also be like, you see how these both have crowns? It's like you're kind of seeking the destruction, the end, the falling apart of this oppressive energy in the past and such, but it's not here yet. And there's an anticipation about it. And it comes from almost a place of that revengeful energy. But as all systems work, it's like when you actually forgive yourself and give yourself that compassion, that's when everything else in reality shifts. That's when the Tower is now coming from a place of love for these energies that hurt you, and not reflecting back at you in some negative, destructive way, but in a way that this is necessary for the growth and of a deeper understanding and a higher perspective of it. So that yes, it is occurring. Yes, this person, this energy is falling and crumbling apart in your life as you wanted it to, but not from the origin of hatred or anger. Because nothing will be effective, no lesson will be learned if it's originated from that place in you of rage. The rage first has to be expressed and released, if that makes sense. I hope we're explaining this clearly. I don't know if we are, but for some of you, this rage is around like a love affair that somebody had, somebody you really cared about. And again, for some of you, it's like father, or just parental, or just authority figures in life, bosses, etc. There's a greedy energy too to this, like people that just, they just weren't out for the best. And it's like, in essence, Spirit's like, but don't become this. As you process, you know, you don't need to become it, but you're allowed to freely express it and release it and overcome it, because you're that badass and that strong. Remember the room and how you know how to make things out of nothing, in essence, okay? So with this, we also have this message, surrender to the sweetness. This is Venus energy, pleasure, joy, and making love to life. This is you trying your best to surrender in this space of hold, in this space of waiting. You know, this is you trying to enjoy whatever you can and recognize the abundance to build more, because it is a period of trial in essence, and it is asking you to relax the best you can to assist this process, to assist this awakening. Venus, you know, is love. We are talking on relationships with the self and with others. We can see here as well that these two lovers are separated, and especially by water, which is emotions. So it's a lot of emotional processing at this time, and a lot of having to allow. And that's been around. It's been around in the collective for a while, and there's a lot of that in life in general. But for you, it's unique how it's being expressed here, Sagittarius. And for some of you, we do see that this separation or affair or something that has happened in a relationship or in love, whatever it may be, is very, very hard to deal with. The separation is excruciating. There's an element of pride that I see you coming through with, where you just, maybe you don't even want to reach out, but it's like, it's I don't know if excruciating is too dramatic, but it's very tumultuous, turmoiled. It's a hard energy to not know, and to go through all these emotions, and even to see somebody slip away, or to not be able to reach them, or for them to reach you. It's just this awakening, this transformation, it's, as any, is painful. And again, we will quote Khalil Gibran from the Prophet, your pain is the breaking of the shell which encloses your understanding. I don't know if that's the exact quote, but it's that feeling. It's like the pain is part of the transformation. And yes, it does get better. It might get worse before it gets better. But I see here that you are kind of in the heat of this journey. Now, we also have this message of love here. This is reflection. Give each other some space at the moment. Trust and have faith that all will work out for the best. Yes, you have to be with yourself at this time. You just do, to process this. And even though we see you coming out of this hermit energy in the near future and making this movement, which is amazing, for a lot of you, I feel that you're still in this place of just, you have to be with it. You have to be with this process, with this energy, and a lot of that is just out of your hands. So you guys, I hope that made sense. We'll try to work with this style and see, you know, of reading if it connects to you guys more, or what, if it's more efficient. But yeah, you can email me frequencyoftheheart@gmail.com for personal readings. And until then, I look forward to the next time we meet. Take care and all the best during this process.